Everybody loves crispy pork belly, but how to make it crispy? Hello everyone, Ep13 here. Let me split the pork belly into two so that I can show you two ways of making it. First, we will need some ginger slices. Then in a pot of room temperature water, put in the pork belly. Then add in some star anise and also ginger slices. We start from room temperature water instead of boiling hot water to prevent the meat from tightening up. During the process of boiling, it's completely normal to see the cloudy foam afloat. That means impurities are being removed. After the water comes to boil, keep on boiling for around 10 minutes. Then drain well. To remove any unwanted hair from the skin, you can use a tweezer to pluck. Another easier way would be to use a blowtorch. I have no idea what was I thinking because I have a blowtorch, but still I chose to hand pluck the hair. Feel the pig skin with your fingertips to see if there is any hair left. Then poke as many holes as possible, because the magic is, the more holes we poke, the crispier the pork belly. We usually poke holes on the skin after boiling the pork belly, as the boiling process softens the pork skin, hence easier poking. Now we are going to make the marinade. Ingredients are simple: sugar, salt, 5-spice powder. Then try your best to get the Chinese rose wine, because it goes really well with pork belly. You could easily find such wine in Chinese grocery stores. Then mix well to combine all the ingredients together. Before we marinate the meat, pat dry the pork belly. As the pork belly is typically very thick, to make the marinade easier to penetrate through, make a few slits, but do not completely cut through the meat. At this point, the meat inside is still raw, but no worries, we will cook it through later in the oven. Then use aluminum foil to fold an open box. Then lift up the aluminum open box and set aside. Now take out the marinade that we have previously prepared. Rub the marinade onto the surface of the pork belly and also into the slits. The marinade might be a little liquidy, but that will be easier for the marinade to penetrate through the meat. Remember to marinate the 4 sides as well, but never marinate the skin. Put the aluminum foil back, then brush some white vinegar on the skin. This could make the pork belly even crispier. Then refrigerate the pork belly overnight. Then get coarse salt, baking soda and white vinegar ready. Brush another thin layer of white vinegar onto the skin. Rub a layer of baking soda. Then cover the pork belly with a layer of coarse salt. Set aside for 30 minutes. Then scrape and rub off the coarse salt. When the pork belly is stripped off of salt, then it's time to put it into the oven. Bake the pork belly at 180 degrees Celsius for 40 minutes. Then very soon you will see bubbles coming out of the pork belly skin. This is exactly what we want. Many would think at this stage the pork belly is done. Now turn up the oven to 220 degrees Celsius. In fact, continue baking until it chars a little. The pork belly would come out even crispier. Then we will trim off the charred bits. Beautiful sound. Then chop the pork belly into cubes. This is literally smoking hot. Continue chopping, then it's ready to serve. Some said only baking in the oven can guarantee a crispy pork belly, but some said we can also make crispy pork belly out of a skillet. So I saved a small piece of pork belly for this experiment. We used the exact same preparation, except this time we don't use the oven. Instead, we are cooking the pork belly on a skillet. Cover with lid so it can easily cook through. You may want to move the skillet a little so that the oil and the heat can be evenly distributed. 15 minutes later, I opened the lid to check on the pork belly. The skin starts to get golden. Keep cooking the pork belly for another 5 minutes. The skin is a little charred now. Again, no worries, this is exactly what I want. Continue cooking the pork belly on medium heat for around 10 to 15 minutes. Absolutely music to my ears. Trim the char and cut into cubes. Voila! Wait. Is it really that crispy? To compare the two cooking methods, using the oven would be more convenient and it is easily cooked through. but that would require a longer cooking time. Pan frying on a skillet may require a shorter cooking time, but it's harder to determine its doneness, whether it is fully cooked through. Baking in the oven can definitely give us crispy pork belly, but since cooking in the oven requires longer cooking time, there would be a greater loss of juices. So the flavor is intense, but it would be more on the drier side. Cooking on the skillet is mainly to make the skin as crispy as possible, unlike the oven which passes heat from all directions to the pork belly. So pan frying the pork belly would result in less loss of juices. So pork belly that cooks this way would be smoother and juicier. Well, maybe somehow a little greasier too. See, making crispy pork belly at home is so easy. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, bye bye!